So today we're going to look at how to change the ignition coil on your lawnmower. This happens to be a Craftsman with a Briggs & Stratton engine, quantum engine. Very similar on all different types. First thing you're going to do is want to remove all the covers. I've already removed the screws, so just two Phillips screws holding that cover on. The next thing you want to do is remove the gas tank. I've loosened up the screws here on the gas tank. Got 3 5/16 and nuts. This one's being a little tricky. Yeah, it's a little bit of a tight fit in there, especially if you got bigger fingers. There we go. There's also a 3/8 bolt under here for the gas tank. What I'm going to do is use fuel line crimpers here to crimp off the fuel line, because I'm going to need to take this fuel line off the carburetor. A little bit of gas will leak out there. Next thing is I will take off this 3/8 bolt here on the bottom. All right. Alright, next, to get to the ignition coil here, I'm going to have to remove let's see here, 1, 2, and 3, 4 3/8 bolts from the starter recoil. So you want to keep all these bolts. The two front ones are actually a little bit smaller than the back ones. And then you can remove this oil filler tube with a that would be a 5/16. It will just pull out here at the bottom and stay with the cover, which is fine by me. And now we can get access to the ignition coil right here. So if this guy's your problem, a lot of times, you know, if you're diagnosing no spark, typically it's this guy right here. There is a ground wire on the front side of this coil. So first thing you would want to do is take off this ground wire and then try and restart the lawnmower again. If it does work, then you have a problem with this wire, and that wire goes over here, which is attached to the mechanism for your brake band cable right at the top that you hold. Okay, so when you release that, it actually grounds out this wire to your ignition coil and stops the spark from happening. So if there's a problem with that, if it's grounding out some other way, then you won't get spark. So that's your first test. If that doesn't work and it still doesn't have spark after you've pulled that wire off, good chance that your coil is bad here. So today we're going to show you how to take this coil off. Looks like two 1/4-inch bolts here at the top. And pardon me while I go get my 1/4-inch nut driver. Alright, now you can pull that off. Disconnect your ground wire. And in this case, it looks like I'm going to have to take some more stuff off just to get this off. Well, actually I can just pull it out of there. So to replace this, you're going to just do the exact opposite to put it back together. This is your new coil. Make sure that lead goes all the way in and clicks. You can hook up your ground wire. All right. Now to put this guy back on, what you're going to want to do is, you can see that there actually is slotted holes here so that you can actually adjust it forward and backwards to get the proper gapping. And the proper gapping, they say, is around, I think around 10/1000ths of an inch, which is essentially the size of a business card. And that's what I'm going to use today to grab that gap. If you have feeler gauges and you want to use feeler gauges to get the exact 10/1000ths of an inch, that's completely fine as well. Now, how you're going to do this is you're going to take your business card and you're going to put that in here like so. And you're going to rotate. I'm going to take the spark plug lead off actually. You're going to rotate that till it lines up with these magnets. And you're going to see it's going to pull it in on the magnet. So you're going to want to get both sides to the magnet so that it's held in with the business card in between for the gap. And then just tighten those guys down. Alright. And then twist it out of there, and that's it. You got your new ignition coil on there. Hook up your spark plug, put all your panels back on, and away you go. Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and please subscribe for new content that comes out. Thanks again. Have a good day.